Am I the a-hole for pulling out of my best friend's wedding? For pulling out of my best friend's wedding, I'm a 23-year-old female with a progressive disability, like Ms. but slower. Bride is 23-year-old female too. We've been friends for 7 years. When she got engaged, she asked another woman who she works with for less than a year to be maid of honor. I was hurt but I brushed it off. Then when it came to asking me to be a bridesmaid, she commented that I had to wear heels and walk down the aisle and stand for pictures, and I did. I was hurt because she knew about my condition and my needs and completely overlooked them. We argued but made up. Until now. Her wedding is in February 2021, and I told her I was going to be using a wheelchair by then. I've been going back and forth with it for a while. I want my independence back. No pain. No anxiety over walking with my condition. My team at the hospital stated it would be a good idea. I decided it would be for the best. So I told her. She was instantly off to me, stating how would I go in the car to the wedding, carry a bouquet, get into the building, etc. I gave solutions to those things. She then ignored my wheelchair, saying I will walk down the aisle and stand for pictures, right? When I said no, I don't feel comfortable or fully able to do so, I got back a message saying, so you're rolling down the aisle on my wedding day, patronizing me and making me feel like crap. It's a curveball she has to make work for her and her groom. And she loves me. The bride-to-be clearly wasn't happy, so I asked if it was a problem. She told me that she wasn't happy, and she doesn't get it because I can use my legs and can manage fine and I want to be independent, but yet I'm not using it. All she wants is for me to walk down the aisle and stand for pictures on her wedding day. After that I could do whatever I want. Like it's that easy. Like my disability is able to turn off and on. I finally got upset and said if that's how she feels, I'm not coming. Treating me like a thing to stand in there and smile for her day. Putting everything else aside, my health and well-being. This is the one wedding day she'll ever have. And she tried to fit my disability to work for the both of us. But it always has to be my way. Disability doesn't make a person who they are. Their attitude does, ripping apart my acceptance of my condition. Because I'm doing what's right for me. I have a bad attitude. I can't believe after 7 years of friendship, she's put her one special day over a supposed friend and her health. Like she's ashamed of anyone to see me in a wheelchair. It will ruin her memories of the day. I will ruin it just by disabled. Ashamed of me, which obviously made me feel ashamed for wanting a wheelchair. Unlovable, unworthy, ugly. Someone that has no business being at a beautiful event because I'm disabled. She removed me off everything, basically saying I'm selfish to do this on her wedding day. Am I the arsehole for dropping out of my best friend of 7 years wedding? Not the a-hole. I'm sorry you thought this woman was your friend because she's clearly not, unless you redefine friend. Totally agree. I don't understand why being in a wheelchair would mean anything for pictures. Someone can help get you where you need to go and I'm sure people wouldn't even think twice about it. This bride is a total ass. Weddings are supposed to be a celebration of bringing people together, friends and family. Anything other than that is shitty emo. My brother-in-law's cousin is in a wheelchair and he asked him to be a groomsman. He was worried that he would ruin things, and my sister and her husband to be said it would only ruin things if he wasn't in the wedding. I walked down the aisle with him and he was in the pics and lo, not one person complained about the aesthetics. Not the a-hole. My husband's mother has cancer on around her brainstem. Effectively, she can walk but it's so hard for her. She was in a wheelchair at our wedding, and she apologized for not getting far enough in her PT to be able to walk. I was broken-hearted for her that she felt lesser because of her chair. I'm hurting for you that someone who was thought to be a friend has acted this way and hurt you. If it were me, I'd move on from that friendship. Take the money you would have spent on a wedding gift and a dress, etc., and buy yourself something lovely to give yourself a boost. This is a lovely idea. Spend the money you would have spent on your bridesmaid's dress on something lovely for yourself. Not the a-hole. Also, that's not a best friend. That's also not someone who's ready to get married, but whatever, right? Like how are they going to handle in sickness and in health? OP is not the a-hole, obviously. Whoa, not the a-hole at all. Don't ever think that you are. She's prioritizing one day over your health and well-being. How dare you not be able to walk due to your degenerative disease and refuse to wear high heels on my day? Not the a-hole. Yes, it is her day. That absolutely does not mean anyone's health takes a backseat to her preferences. She is a total a-hole. Yes, I have MS and I'm going to be a bridesmaid soon. Fortunately I'm still able to walk, but not without a cane and frequent rests. The bride came to me and said that she would provide whatever I needed for her wedding. She said she's put out a chair during the ceremony or anything I requested, because to her it's more important that I'm there and that I'm comfortable. That's what real friends do. Not the a-hole. She is not your friend. A friend would never be so horrid and selfish. You should use your wheelchair to roll onto some better friends. Not the a-hole. The quotes around best friend are very appropriate. Friends don't do that to each other, much less best friends. Roll away from this friendship with your dignity and self-esteem intact. You are not the selfish one here. Not the a-hole. Your friend is being really callous. She's treating it as if you had a choice here. Not the a-hole. And your friend is incredibly shallow. She could have found a way to tell you that didn't make you feel like crap. I'm disabled too. Bless your heart. Go or don't go. Either way, you are not the a-hole. I don't need to read the whole post. Not the a-hole. Your friend is a monster who is prioritizing faux wedding complex appearances over real relationships. She's telling you all the support and friendship you've shared with her over the years aren't as important as the latest trend on Pinterest. I love my best friends. They could roll up in a wheelbarrow, a Barbie Power Wheel, or a dog sled, and I would be ducking proud to have them make a grand entrance. If they wanted to sit on a skateboard and scoot up the aisle, I'd congratulate them for their ingenuity. I love them and I'd appreciate the effort and willingness to show up for me. Your friend hasn't learned what's important yet. You're not the a-hole, my friend. Not the a-hole. She isn't a friend. A friend doesn't do that. My flower girl had severe cerebral palsy. She had to have her dress altered to be a lace-up. Had to go down the aisle in her wheelchair. Had to be held for photos or sit in her chair. We had to do a different hairstyle for her because she had an undercut because her hair would get tangled from rubbing on her headrest. We even needed special food for her because she was spoon-fed puree. So there was puree of all the dinner food and even puree wedding cake. I loved her, so we did it. The most important thing for me was that she was in the ceremony. A real friend wouldn't care about the wheelchair.